Problem 9, the difference quotient is given by the formula f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. So if we want to define that difference quotient for f of x equals 5x squared minus 20, we're going to start by finding this f of x plus h part. So for that formula, f of x plus h, what we would do is in this formula, we're going to rewrite it, but instead of x, we're going to write x plus h. So that would look like 5x plus h squared minus 20. Instead of 5x squared plus 20, we wrote x plus h. And then we want to simplify this. So 5 and x plus h squared is x plus h times x plus h. So we're going to multiply that out. X times x is x squared. X times h is xh. H times x is hx, but we can write it xh if we would like. And then h times h is h squared. Okay, then we still have the 5 out front, and then the minus 20. Okay, and really xh plus xh, we can now write that 2xh, because we have 2 of them. And then keep on simplifying, so distribute this 5 into the parentheses, so 5x squared. 5 times 2xh is 10xh, and then 5h squared. And then we have this minus 20 at the end. So that is f of x plus h. Okay. And then from that, we're going to subtract f of x. So f of x plus h minus f of x would look like 5x squared plus 10xh plus 5h squared minus 20. So this whole thing. And then from that, we're going to subtract the original f of x, which is 5x squared minus 20. And whenever we subtract polynomials, remember to put them in parentheses. Okay, so minus 5x squared minus 20. And we'll distribute this negative to that second parenthesis, so minus 5x squared plus 20. And then what that's going to do is the 5x squared minus 5x squared cancels. And then the minus 20 plus 20 cancels. So we're just left with these two terms. Okay, so f of x plus h minus f of x is 10xh plus 5h squared. Okay. And then the last step is then to divide this f of x plus h minus f of x by h. So we're just going to write that over h and then simplify. So dividing by h is going to cancel that h from the first term to just give 10x. It's going to cancel one of the h's from the second term to just give h to the first, or just h. So the difference quotient would be 10x plus 5h. Problem 10, find the domain of y equals square root of x minus 20. So when we talked about domains of square root functions, what needs to happen is that what's under the square root needs to be positive. So we'd set up x minus 20 greater than or equal to 0 to make that number under the square root be positive. If that number under the square root ends up being negative, then we end up with an imaginary number or a non-real solution. So x minus 20 greater than or equal to 0. To solve that, we're going to add 20 to both sides to get x greater than or equal to 20. So that's the domain in inequality notation. In interval notation, all the numbers greater than or equal to 20 looks like the interval 20 comma infinity. So all numbers from 20 onwards is 20 comma infinity. And you put a square bracket around the 20 and a parentheses around the infinity.